taking over in 3, 2, 1.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to tonight's program. I'm excited to be here, but let me start by telling you a quick story. I don't know if any of you have ever had a defining moment in your life, and I want to tell you about one that I've had and how that's relevant to you tonight and probably why you're here in the program. By the way, we're going to open up a chat here. I will be able to answer some questions if you guys want to chat with me. I'd love to talk to you, so please, if you want to communicate through the chat, please drop a few notes in here. When in 1991, I had played college golf and I was invited to play on my first professional golf tour on the Asian tour. And one of the first tournaments was in India, New Delhi, India. I was a decent golfer. I wouldn't say I was a standout college player. I wouldn't even say I was a standout professional. I was just a good enough golfer to be able to play on a professional golf tour in Asia. And I was excited. I was getting to play some golf. I was going to play with some of the best players in the world. One of my good friends was Todd who won the Open Championship in 2004. And these are friends of mine that I figured if I got to spend some time with these guys and play competitive golf, I could grow myself into a great player. Well, I was in New Delhi, India, and can you imagine being that far away from home? I remember calling my parents, and it was $10 a minute to make a phone call. I would call them and tell them my score, and I'd basically hang up. It was too expensive to give them a phone call. And I remember playing the first round, and I played okay in the first round. And I got to the second round, and here I am thousands of miles away from home. I'm trying to grow my career. I'm in a foreign language. First time I've ever been out of the country, out of the United States. I'm around people that don't speak English. All of them don't speak English, and it was a very, very challenging time to be a 24-year-old professional golfer and new to the world of golf. And I played the final round, and I remember as the final round progressed, I lost my swing. It just went away. One shot after another. They're starting to go left and right. I can't find the golf ball. I'm struggling like crazy. And I remember standing on the last hole. And these courses in India aren't like the courses in the United States. They're not beautifully manicured on the sides of the fairways. You hit it in the woods, you're okay. There was snakes and things that will kill you in the woods. My caddies, who I had to hire when I got over there, would not go look for golf balls. They're like, it's gone. You could see it. And they'd say it's gone because they won't go in there because there might be a snake next to it. And I'm on the last tee, and I'll never forget this experience. I'm standing there about to hit my drive, and I can't move. I'm frozen because I'm so afraid. I've got to par the last hole to make the cut of the tournament, and I'm petrified to make a swing because I don't want it to go left or right. And I remember standing there and going through my brain, I can't move. I am frozen. I am so afraid of hitting this golf shot. And that was like and I don't remember even finishing the golf hole. I did make a par. I don't remember how I scraped it into the last hole. I remember finishing that round, and I said to myself, I never want to feel like that again. I never want to feel like that about golf again. So I finished, that was one of my final tournaments on the Asian tour. When I got back to the United States, I was talking to a friend of mine, Billy Casper. You guys know Billy Casper, his son Bobby Casper, and I said, Bobby, I've got to become a better golfer. I got to hit. I don't ever want to feel like that again. And I went on a search, and I went on a search for the next 3 years to find a teacher or a golf swing that would help me become a better player. I worked with the absolute best instructors in the world at the time. And people ask me all the time. They say, well, I've spent a lot of money on golf instruction. I guarantee none of you have spent as much money as me on golf instruction. I spent every dime that I had, every sponsor's dime that I had, to try to better my golf game. 3 years later, that was 1991. At the beginning of 1994, I was this close to quitting because I was worse. I never found I could not find the answers. I was basically at wit's end. I was like, there's no answers here. Every teacher's teaching something different. There's no model. There's no, this is the right way to do it. There's no correct thing. I had learned some things about swing playing. I had learned some things that I thought were probably correct. I just wasn't any better. But I got super lucky because I was living in Dallas, Texas. I had landed at Hank Haney Golf Academy, a very good instructor in Dallas, Texas. And he was the guy I stuck with because he made the most sense to me. And my sponsors were there. My sponsors were giving up on me. I didn't have any money. I started bartending at night because I could then practice my golf game during the day, and I'd bartend at night. I was struggling. And a friend of mine shows up in Dallas, Texas, a very good friend of mine. He was playing on the Canadian Tour, and he hands a videotape. And he goes, "You got to see this video." And it was of a guy named Mo Norman. And he goes, "You got to see this guy hit a golf ball." He goes, "Todd, I was just with him a couple days ago. I hit golf balls with him. I've never seen anybody hit a golf ball as good as this guy you're about to watch on video." And this Matthew, the friend that was showing me this videotape, I respected him. He was one of the best golfers that I knew. He was my college teammate, college roommate, one of the best golfers that I had ever played golf with. I respected his opinion about, "Todd, you got to watch this guy." So we put the tape in. You remember the old VHS tapes? I put the VHS tape in, and I'm watching this swing. And to me, it looks a lot different than what I had been learning as a golfer, but it looked right to me because it had a swing plane to it. And Matthew was saying, "Todd, this guy," he goes, "you won't believe it. Listen to the sound of the golf ball. Watch this thing fly. Look at this." So I see this video and I'm like, "Oh, it's remarkable." And I draw some lines on it and I look at it and the club's going straight back and straight down on the exact same plane. And he's just ripping the golf ball. And I'm like, I think he's figured this out. I think he figured it out. Who is this guy? It's Mo Norman. He's a Canadian guy. He's amazing. Everybody regards him as the best in the world, but he's reclusive. No one can get to know this guy. No one really knows him that well. But he shows up in Canada and everybody knows how great he is. And he played on the tour for a little while, but no one really gets to know him very well. He's just kind of this reclusive guy, but he'll come out for the tour events up there because he's a big time golfer. So I took that tape, and for the next year, I practiced, I mirrored, I basically mimicked what I saw on that tape for a year. And instantly, the minute I started doing it, I started hitting the ball solid. I remember the first day I was out there, I was just going, "Oh my God, I can get the club back to the ball. I can get back to the ball." Within about 3 months, I was getting better and better and better, progressing much faster than I had ever for the 3 years with the instructors. And I go, "Man, I think this guy's figured it out. I think he has figured out the easiest way to do this thing." I was lucky because I had had a lot of golf experience, a lot of instruction experience. I'd worked with almost every method out there that people had introduced me to. So I really had a lot of history to know what it was like to see something that simple. Well, I got lucky again because my sponsors at the time, you won't believe the story, my sponsors had opened up a massive driving range in Dallas, Texas called City Point Golf Center. And they let me practice out there. Well, a guy walks out there and he introduces himself and he says, he's talking about Mo Norman. And he said, "As a matter of fact, Mo's coming to do a clinic in Chicago. You should come to the clinic." I got invited to meet Mo in person. Now, I was so excited to meet Mo Norman in person, right? And I walked up to him and I had been practicing like him for a year. And I set up to a golf ball. I asked him, he did the most amazing clinic I've ever seen. Hit the ball dead straight. It was remarkable how good he was. I can't even describe it. The first 3 shots he hit the target. He hit a driver and it hit the 250-yard pole in the air, ding, like he was hitting a little 4-inch metal pole 250 yards away 3 out of 10 times, just off the pole. The ball was flying so straight in the same window. I was like, "I've never seen anything like it." And that's what Matthew said. He said, "You know something like it?" And I walked up to him and I said, "You're the best I've ever seen." And he goes, "I know, I'm the best in the world." I'm like, how did you figure that out, Mo?" He goes, "You got to believe in yourself. You got to believe in yourself. We're going to talk about that tonight, what that means, to believe in yourself." But he didn't know that I've been practicing like him for the last 3 years. So I said, "Hey, do you mind if I hit a couple of your golf clubs?" Because Mo had his golf clubs everywhere. So I grabbed his 8-iron and I started hitting shots, and he looks over and he looks at me and he goes, "It's me without a belly. It's me without a belly." He recognized the golf swing. That's why I got the nickname Little Mo, because for the next 10 years, I spent the next 10 years of my life going down, playing golf with Mo, learning from him. I got my Canadian Tour card in '95 with his swing, with what he had taught me. I got on the Canadian Tour where he was in Canada, so he'd come out and watch me play. I was still a lot of learning experience in Canada, but I got to play the Canadian Tour using Mo's swing, and I got nicknamed Little Mo. And now I have dedicated my life to teaching people what Mo taught me, which is the absolute easiest way to hit a golf ball. I'm going to share that with you tonight. I can't share every little detail that he did because that would take too long, but I'm going to give you the basic principles of what you can do right now to simplify your golf game and do what I did. Save your golf game. I was this close to quitting. So my goal tonight, I'm going to give you 2 goals for tonight. The first one is I'm going to simplify your swing. All right, now how many of you want that? If you want to put it in chat, that's fine. How many of you want me to go ahead and simplify your swing? And by the way, it's not complicated at all. Number 2, I'm going to teach you a process to learn it. I'm going to give you 2 things tonight. This is what you're going to walk away from tonight. This is my gift to you because this was the gift Mo gave to me. He showed me an easier way to hit the golf ball, and he also showed me how the absolute easiest way to learn it is. And I promised him the last round I played with him in Canada, I used to go play golf with him all the time once we became good friends. It was about 3 months before he passed away. We played 18 holes of golf. And he said to me, I said, Mo, my goal in life is to take your golf swing to the world. That's my mission in life. Until I die, I am going to bring your golf swing to the world because people need to see this if they want to love the game of golf like I do. And so that's what I'm doing here tonight. I'm going to do this for you. Now, I have a litmus test for you. And I'm going to do this with you because when we start talking about this process and I start getting into how I can help you, I want to do a little test before we get started. And you're going to understand why I'm doing this. The most important moment of a golf swing is the moment of impact, right? When we strike the golf ball. I think all of you would agree with that, right? We want to get the club moment of impact. And I'm going to show you what impact looks like. And by the way, if you ask the question, why was Mo Norman the greatest ball striker that's ever played the game? You could even ask the question, why are people great ball strikers, Ben Hogan and people like that? It's because they could repeat impact. Matter of fact, statistics show that if the best ball striker is the one that hit the most consistent ball speeds. Well, what that means in layman's terms is they're getting the club to the same angle at impact every single time and the ball's coming off with the same speed. So the absolute goal of a golf swing, and don't ever forget this, the absolute goal of your golf swing and my golf swing and everybody in this room's golf swing is to get consistent at the moment of impact. Yes, of course you want speed. Of course you want those things that hit the ball long distances, but hitting it straight and getting the impact is where you're going to play your best golf. Solid contact. And so my goal for you tonight is to teach you the swing that does that, which is Mo Norman's swing. But let me demonstrate where impact is. I'm going to show you impact. And if I set up to the golf ball here and I take the club back and I go down to impact, we'll talk about the entire swing in a minute. And you look at this moment, look at this moment I'm showing you here. Do you notice the body is tilted? Do you notice the lead leg, my weight is in the leg, but it's braced. Look at my foot position. Look at my lead arm aligning. Look at the back of my hand going to the target. Club face obviously is square. So again, look at my moment of impact. And it's a moment because it's happening from here to here, but this exact moment, look at my position at impact. The trail arm is slightly bent, right? So here it is down the line. So rotation, right shoulder's lower, lead arm is higher, trail arm is bent, club is square. Look at the club lining up with the trail arm. So I just showed you impact, right? Showed you impact. I'm going to show you it one more time. And I can go to a perfect impact position every single time. And the reason I can go to that impact position every time is because my brain knows exactly where that position is because I've practiced it and I have a simple way to get there with the swing that Mo taught me. Here's your test. If you can't stand up out of your chair right now and show me, without swinging, without hitting a golf ball, stand up and put yourself in an absolute perfect impact position, you need to listen to what I'm talking to tonight because you will never be a consistent golfer if you can't show me impact. And the reason I want you to show it to me, like I just mentioned, like you could walk across the room right now. I could have my friend Ollie over here walk across the room, and as he's walking across the room, Ollie, show me impact. He should be able to show me impact like that. Scott, come over here, impact. Tristan, show me impact. And if you can't show me impact, it's not in your brain. You have not programmed it. See, what Mo taught me with his swing, he programmed where impact was. I programmed impact. It was a programming formula to get to impact the exact same way every time. Everybody understand that? So the goal of your goal and my goal for you is to help you get to impact in the easiest possible way so you can repeat it, be consistent at impact. But if you can't show me impact right now, stand up, show me impact, You have to start doing what I'm doing, because you will never get better at golf if you can't do this. All right, so that's really an important point tonight, because everything I teach you is for that moment, okay? So the swing that I'm going to show you, the positions and things I show you tonight, they're all designed to get me back to impact. Everything I show you. That was the genius of Mo Norman, that every position in his swing made impact easier, even the finish. All right? Now, I'm also going to make another promise to you tonight. 100% of everything I teach you tonight is common sense. There's nothing complicated about what I teach you. There's nothing that should be, you should say, that's so radical, Todd, it makes no sense. Actually, you're going to say the opposite. Todd, that's just you're going to actually say to me, why doesn't everybody do it that way? That's what you're going to say to me. But what I'm going to do for you tonight is I'm going to teach you some of the whys. And those whys are what I call the biomechanics of it. Now, don't get too confused about biomechanics. I'm going to explain to you the idea of biomechanics in the golf swing in super simple ways. You're going to actually be able to teach somebody how simple the biomechanics of the golf swing are after this show tonight. But let's go through this a little bit. What I'm first going to do is show you the positions of Mo Norman's golf swing. We call it the single plane swing. I'm going to put that up on the board here. Okay, so I'm going to show you the positions of the single plane swing. I'm going to explain why I call it the single plane swing in just a minute. And by the way, before I get into this, one point I want to make to you. I do not look at this as a methodology. I look at this as the discovery. And I'm going to reiterate that in a little while. But I'm going to show you what Mo Norman discovered by doing this. So if you look at my address position here, all right, you're going to see an alignment of the lead arm and the club. All right, look at my alignment of the lead arm. You don't see this in the conventional golf swing very much, but you see it with Mo Norman, an alignment. And you see a tilt of the body. So you see this alignment and tilt of the body. Why do I want this alignment? Well, because that's going to be lined up at impact. Why do I want the arm in the position that it's in? Because I want the back of the hand where it's going to be at impact. You see, everything I'm going to teach you tonight makes that easier, makes impact easier. I'm going to go look at my foot position. One foot is not quite rotated out. This one's more rotated out. This is because it lets my hips move correctly. So I'm going to go to the backswing. And this is we call this leverage position 2. Notice how I've worked around my trail leg. I've stabilized. This is where I produce speed. Look at this leverage angle that's been produced. So as I go back, I produce leverage. And then I stabilize the body. That's what we call transition. I start turning. Watch the club. See that leverage angle has maintained. I'm coming down. And when I get to right here, I'm going to explain, this is all biomechanics. I'm going to explain this in a minute. My arms and hands release the club into impact. There's that spot again. You see what happened? I went from position 3 to impact. And then watch what happens. I go to extension position 5. And then I'm going to finish position 6. Then I'm going to stand up. Now, that's just the positions of the swing. Not too bad. Let me show you what I just did from this angle. And this is where the magic kind of gets seen and really happens in what Mo Norman figured out, what he discovered. By the way, is the chat open?
Yep.
Pop it in there. I want to see what people have any questions or what they're talking about. So watch this. Now you saw me produce a golf swing. Probably looked pretty normal to you, right? Watch this though. You see how when I set up, this will look different to you now. Notice how I'm not hanging the arms below the shoulders. This is what conventional golf teaches you. And by the way, that hanging the arms below the shoulders, that thing that I learned for years and years and spent all that money learning, and it made me worse and frustrated and wanting to quit, is what I call the one mistake being taught in golf. It's so hard to become good from that position. Only a small percentage of golfers can accomplish great golf from that position. Matter of fact, the average male score has not improved in the United States in 70 years. Why is that? Equipment's gotten better. Drivers have gotten better. Golf balls go 30, 40 yards longer, maybe even longer than that. So everything's improved in golf. The course conditions are better than they've ever been before. But golfers aren't getting better because what they're teaching in golf today, which I call the conventional golf swing, it has insurmountable biomechanics to it that the average person cannot surpass. There's things that are built into the mechanics of the things that you've learned that you cannot overcome with the way you practice. You don't have enough time to learn it. You're not a tour player. Only a small percentage of people can accomplish the things that need to practice enough to get better from that. I can overcome that for you. So what Mo figured out was this is a problem because why is two planes a problem when the arms are hanging down, which you've probably learned, where you have the club shaft on one plane and the arms on another? Why is that a problem? Because you don't impact there. And what happens is now you got a problem because this club, you're too close to the ball. The club doesn't have a plane yet. You've got to create a plane somewhere, and then you've got to find impact, but you're so close, the body has to lift. You have variables going on. And Mo used to always tell me, reduce the variables, keep it simple, like a pendulum, like a pendulum. He would tell me these terms. Here's what Mo discovered. He said, Todd, he goes, take the club and put it where you're going to impact. And then watch what happens. What I showed you before, when I take the club back, look what happens. It goes onto a plane. Well, what is that plane? That's the exact same plane that I started. So this club is starting and swinging on the exact same plane. Well, why is that important? Because that's the plane, the club's design. I am swinging the club the exact way it's designed. I'm not manipulating it. Whereas when you're a conventional golfer, you don't put the club on the plane it's designed, you have to swing it to the plane it's designed. That's why when you get fit for clubs, they got to dynamically fit you. They got to run you through a whole process because you got to figure out what clubs, how you're getting to impact with that weird setup you got. Not with Mo. You set the club on the plane you're going to impact, just like this. You take it back onto plane. Look at that plane right there. Return it to plane. Look what happened. I can return it straight back down to the exact same plane. Back and down. Look how simple that is. Back and down. So that the positions look like this. Backswing to leverage, transition, back to impact, extension. That's even on plane. Watch this. That's on plane. Look at that club. It's parallel to that same line. Everywhere in the swing is parallel to what? The club's address plane. I told you everything that was going to be common sense. And you've got to be thinking to yourself, if you're new to this, how many people in the chat are new to this? Just say, yes, I'm new to this. If you're new to this, and maybe you're not super familiar with golf teaching or golf instruction, maybe you're kind of just digging into this for the first time, you've got to look at that and go, well, that makes sense. Why doesn't everybody swing that way? I agree. When Mo showed me what he had discovered in the swing, I thought to myself, this has got to be the model, the human anatomical model of the easiest way to hit the thing that's on the ground. Mo just figured it out. Luckily, Mo never had lessons. Luckily, he was just the kind of person that he said, I did it my way. Well, his way was the most natural biomechanical way. Let's talk about that. What do we mean by biomechanics? I'm going to show you, if you want to see something that's so amazingly cool, I'm going to show you Mo's discovery from the anatomical perspective. Because what Mo figured out, and this is what the magic is, and this is my favorite thing to talk about, so I get passionate about this. What Mo figured out was the way to take the human body, the machine, you, and make it so you can't make a mistake. You can't make a biomechanical mistake. In other words, he can mistake-proof your ability to hit a golf ball where you can't screw it up. In other words, I can put you in positions, which I'm going to show you, where you will square the club face every single time. It'll go to impact every single time. Now you're like, Todd, you're lying to me. I'm going to show you this, and you're going to be. And what I'm going to tell you right now is, you need to stop going out to YouTube, even my channel, which people watch the wrong videos on my channel. I have so many of them. You need to stop looking for a quick fix out there. You need to stop running around trying to say, well, there must be this one problem I have. And you need to build your model of a swing based on your anatomy. And I'm going to show you that. Because there is a perfect golf swing inside of you right now. Right now. There is a perfect swing inside of you. And I'm going to show you how to get it out. Here it is. If you're in a chair, I always have people maybe do this with me. Do this with me, and I'm going to teach you some biomechanics of your body. I'm going to have you just stand straight up or sit in your chair where your spine is straight up and down. And I want you to put your arm in front of your chest just like this. So it's going to look like this. Put your arm in front of you. This is called flexion. So put your shoulder and arm, the shoulder into flexion. So you look like you're going to shake somebody's hand straight out. Now, I want you to just simply rotate your arm, and you'll notice the back of my hand will go to the ground, and I'll rotate the other direction, and my thumb will go all the way to the ground. That's quite a bit of rotation of the lead hand, 270 degrees maybe, right? So all this rotation, that's my max range, by the way. That's max range of my arm, and you'll be very similar to me. Max range, here, palm up to thumb down, right? That's max range. So keep that in mind, my max range, look how much range I have in my arm. So let's try something here. Let's go into a side bend. So side bend means I'm going to slightly tilt my body. And I'm going to tilt away from the target. I'm right-handed, so my right shoulder goes lower. And I'm going to put my arm back into flexion. So now my arm is in flexion. Now I'm going to look at my range. Look, I have less range, a little bit less this way now. A little bit less. I can't go as far. When I was standing up, look, my back hand goes to the ground. When I go into tilt, I have less range. So it shows you, wait a minute, by tilting, my back of the hand doesn't go as far. Keep that in mind. Now watch this. Here's what I want you to do. From that tilted position, arm in flexion, I want you to take your arm and turn it back to thumb down. This is called internal rotation, internal rotation. The thumb should be towards the ground. Now, while you're in internal rotation, fully internal, upper arm in flexion, hold your upper arm. Do not let your bicep, from your elbow up, don't let it move, hold it still. And now turn your forearm only as far as you can go. And you'll notice the back of your hand will go directly that direction, which is where the target would be, okay? Let me do that again. Fully internal, tilted, fully internal, full rotation, full range of motion of my forearm, and my hand can only go to the target. It can't go further. I cannot go further. Max range, okay? Okay. Just give me a thumbs up if people are getting this, because I'm going to show you why this is relevant, because I know you're like, okay, Todd, what the hell does that mean? In a golf swing, here's what happens. At address, I'm tilted, right? Same thing, I'm tilted. When you make a backswing, the arm goes into internal rotation. That's exactly what the arm does. The arm does this in the backswing, internal rotation. I stabilize the body. I'm turning, I'm still tilted. When I'm turning and this arm has lag, right? Lag, I'm producing speed. Remember that angle? I'm producing speed. This arm is staying internal. Remember this? Keep it internal, rotate the forearm. I'm staying internal. Watch what happens. Do you see my shoulder in flexion? Arm internal, watch this. The only place the club can go, square. Can't go past it. Every single time I'll get to impact perfectly. Just like that. I can't not go to impact perfectly. When I'm tilted, in flexion, and internally rotated. And Mo would go to me all the time, he goes, Todd, this is the magic move. Magic move. This is the magic move right there. He would show me internal rotation, arm in flexion, and pulling the arm forward and only rotating the forearm. This is relevant to you, and I'll tell you why. The only way I can do that and accomplish impact perfectly every single time, which I do, like Mo did, the only way I can do that is through correct body positions, right? Positions. I have to know what positions to be in. If I lose my tilt, club can close, club can stay open. The positions are everything. Ask Mo Norman, Mo, how do you learn your golf swing? Hit your positions. Know your positions, hit your positions. Know your positions, hit your positions. So here's the thing. And by the way, what I just showed you in the biomechanics of the lead arm motion, which is obviously very important, that is occurring at multiple places in the swing. I'm going to explain it to you. Think about this. I can do that with your lower body. I can do that same thing with your upper body, and I've done it with your arms. I can build your golf swing biophysically and show you what Mo discovered. And it's so simple to do if you do it with the correct positions. I'm going to walk you through it. Now, let's talk about, I just showed you the simplification of the swing. I'm going to show you the process right now. The process. Now, what I just showed you regarding the swing, that's the most important swing information I can give you. That's what you learn from me, and that's what I teach, right? I've been teaching that for 30 years. That's the single plane swing motion. It's great. Most people get it wrong. Why do they get it wrong? Because they practice incorrectly. They think they go to the range and do it correctly, and they don't. They don't have a process of practicing it. I'm going to give you my process. This is what I call my magic formula. This is what, if you came to the academy and the coaches worked with you, or you came to me, I'm teaching you this process, okay? So I'm giving this to you tonight. The very first thing I'm going to teach you is address and grip, okay? Address and grip. I'm going to just simplify here. Address and grip. Now, notice what I said there. I did not say grip and address. I said address and grip. I want to explain that, okay? I'm going to come back to that. Number 2, guess what I'm going to teach you? Positions. I'm going to teach you the positions of the swing. And we have numerous positions, 1 through 6. I'm going to explain those positions in a minute, but there's a reason why there's 6 positions that I teach you. They're incorrect biomechanical order based on the way your brain learns. That's why I put those 6 positions. Number 3, I'm going to teach you sequence. Sequence is nothing more than you putting those positions together into a sequence, but I can't teach you the sequence until you position. So that's the next thing. I'm going to teach you how to put it together. And then number 4, I'm going to teach you speed. I want you to hit it far, so I'm going to teach you how to add speed. Now, put the chat back up there. Everybody gets that, right? Everybody's okay with that. And by the way, give me 2 thumbs up on the thing if that's just common sense. Like we should all learn like that, right? But here's the thing. Do you know how you learn to play golf? Because it's how I learned, and it's how everybody in this room learned, and how 99% of people learn to play golf? Exactly backwards. You have learned, and just like I did, you learned golf backwards because you grabbed a golf club and you started swinging away at that golf ball. You started swinging away, right? Your body goes into sequence, goes into speed. You started going, hey, I'm going to hit this golf ball, and guess what? You're learning. You don't know how to grip. You don't know how to address. You don't know how to position your body. You have no idea. Matter of fact, I see so many bad positions in golf, I'm like, they have no chance. You learn backwards, right? This is what I call my progressive formula. So when I teach you the swing, I always teach it in the correct order. This order. This is the same order. By the way, you guys probably don't dance. I don't really dance either, by the way. But if I was going to learn to dance, what would they do to me? They wouldn't have me go dance. They would have me run out and say, Todd, we're going to teach you how to stand. We're going to teach you position 1 and step 2 and step 3 and step 4. And they're going to teach me the steps and positions. And then when I put that together into sequence and I add speed, I have a dance. I do know how to play the piano. You know what they taught me? How to place my body, how to read the notes, the position of my hands, right? I didn't play music, couldn't, until I learned all the fundamentals. And then I added speed to it, and guess what? A song came out. You see what I'm saying is, everything we do in life, you learn through a correct process. And if you have not learned this correct process, you haven't learned it. You've learned it incorrectly, and you're not good at it. By the way, my process here, this process, I use, even though I'm good at the golf swing, I go practice. I check my address and grip. I also check my positions on my own plane. How am I doing? I then can sequence in the speed. You see, this is not just the first time deal. This is the formula for the rest of your life. You came here tonight because you wanted me to help you with the golf swing. I'm going to help you for the rest of your life. I have solved your problem for you, I promise. You follow what I'm teaching you, you will never have to take another golf lesson in your life. You're done, right? You figured it out, because Mo figured it out, and I'm helping you figure it out. And I'm glad you're here tonight, because this is a defining moment. You know, when I talked earlier, I talked about being in India, when I'm standing on with that driver, that was a defining moment for me. I made a decision. I've got to figure this out, right? The moment that I decided to start practicing Mo's swing from that videotape was a defining moment for me. I hope tonight is a defining moment for you to stop the struggle, because if you don't listen to me tonight and you take off, you're going to go to that driving range tomorrow and you're going to be like, what am I doing out here, right? Okay, now I want to talk about this real quick. Address and grip. Why do I teach address and grip? Why is it in that order? And it's exactly what I talked about earlier. Why would you ever, how many of you, by the way, let me see the chat again. How many of you learned to grip the club first? Give me a thumbs up. They taught me grip first. It's taught in golf. It's ridiculous they teach grip first. It's the most, I think it's one of the biggest mistakes in golf is teaching grip first. Here's why. What you need to learn is what I teach. What's the body position at impact, and what's the grip I need for the position at impact? In other words, what is my position with my arms and my hands that I need for impact, and then grip the club. So address where I'm going to be at impact, and then grip the club. And then orient your body, get your arm into its full range, and grip the club. See, I'm learning to grip the club based on impact, not just grabbing the club. Do you know how many, if you had to ask me, Todd, what's the number one mistake I see, other than the two planes, which is always taught, is people grip the club so badly. It's awful. And once you make this mistake, guess what? You've made a mistake on the most important part, the face. If your hands are messed up, the face is messed up. And now your entire swing, the motion of your body, the biomechanics of your body will have to compensate, and you won't be able to do it. I promise you, golf's too hard to hit a golf ball. That's why you're not very good. That's why you're here tonight. All right? All right. Now, this formula here, I got something for you tonight. And so when I developed this, by the way, this has been years in the making. This is the process I use to teach people. I've been teaching thousands of people all over the world. I teach online. I've been doing this. This is my 34th show that I've done for this, teaching people this process. And then I teach people online how to do this. And we do it in a 30-day program, right? This is my team came to me and said, Todd, put together a program that teaches this for anybody in the world, that you can teach them anywhere. And I said, I want to teach people. I don't care if you live in Alaska. I don't care if you live in the UK. I don't care if you live in, we have people from, Scott, give me somebody. I mean, we've had people from Australia, New Zealand, Japan.
Yeah.
We have taught, how many people? Close to 2,000 people, I think now. Close to 2,000? Yeah. Over 2,000 people have run through this program in the last 15 months. All over the world have gone into this single plane 30. Here's exactly what I do in single plane 30. I teach you what? In week one. This is, I'll put this up here in red. In week one, I teach you address and grip, right? I'm going to teach you in the exact order, because everything this plus this plus this equals this. You have to do this in the proper order. This is where you've made mistakes your whole life. You have not had a process to learn the swing. The next thing I'm going to teach you are the positions of the swing. I demonstrated those to you earlier. Once you learn the address and grip in week 2, I teach you the key positions. Position 1, position 2, position 3, impact 4, got to know that one, 5, and then 6, right? So I teach you positions. By the way, I just practiced right in front of you. Now, I teach you those positions. Guess what? I teach you how to put sequence to those positions. Now that you know them, I can add sequence. But here's the thing about sequence. Here's the amazing thing about what I just showed you. When I sequence you, there's a thing I call the breaks. And the breaks are this. In biophysics, in the way the body works, you want to produce speed. You want to hit the ball long. You want to hit it straight. You want to accelerate the golf club. You want to smash that golf ball and hit it straight every single time. The only way I can get you mechanically to do that is I got to get you to move. I got to get you rotational. I got to get you to move. But I also have to get you to stop, because I can't move one part of the body fast if it doesn't have a support system that stabilizes it. I'll give you an example. Watch my backswing. Notice in my backswing, you see my upper body rotate and the arms go back. What you're probably not seeing is my trail leg being still. That is a break. That is a brace. That is holding still as I rotate around it. Now, when I change directions, I push with that brake into this leg, which then brakes. So when I come down, that's staying still as I rotate around it. You'll notice this brake is allowing my rotation this way. This brake is allowing my rotation this way. The braking system is through correct positions. So when I position myself correctly, I can now sequence correctly. Okay? But here's what's interesting. Watch this. And I do this at all my golf schools, and it's really fun to do. Let me put into motion. I'm going to do it without a club first. Let me put the brakes in, and I'll show you something really fun. So here's the braking system of the backswing. So I'm in side bend, right, the tilt. Rotate into the backswing around the trail leg. That's the brake. That's stop, right? Then I change directions. As I'm coming down, watch my upper body. I'm tilted. I'm working around my lead leg. It's the braking system. Look at my foot. It's letting me stop. The rotation of the foot, very important. I'm coming down. Watch what happens. Look at my upper body. It's tilted. Watch when I rotate. Uh-oh. I can't. I'm stuck. I am reaching a range of motion limit. We talked about that. When my body is tilted and I'm rotated, I'm reaching a range of motion limit because this has stopped. That is down. My body is tilted and I get to a point where my body won't go. Weird. It won't go. Guess what? That's impact. Because what happens is when you get to that braking system where the upper body can't go, the only thing left are the arms. And that's, I just described to you what in biophysics is called as the kinematic sequence. That's exactly how the body accelerates. I'll go through it a little more easier way here. I leverage the club in the backswing. I stabilize the body. I rotate, but those brakes I'm hitting those brakes because look at my lead leg. And then what happens is I'm rotating, my body goes, hey man, as you're rotating, you're in a position where the only thing left to accelerate are the arms, and you swing your arms. You see the positions of my body allowed my arms to accelerate. In the chat, give me a thumbs up if you get that. And I want you to notice that everything that I taught you right there was through positions. Every one of you inside your body right now can do exactly what I just did if you learn those positions. I have never seen anybody not be able to do it. The problem is you have to learn the positions, and somebody has to show you those positions. You need to learn it because in your brain right now, you don't have those positions. If you can't do my test and go to impact perfectly, you have to learn this. And I'm telling you right now, I will save your golf game if you're willing to do it. So here's what I got for you tonight. By the way, there's one thing I want to mention before I talk about my program. This is, by the way, let's put it up there for a second. My Single Plane 30 program is a monthly training program. It starts at the beginning of every month, the first Monday of every month. I do it every month. I don't do it all the time. And the reason is because I want to coach you. I want to coach you. So I don't just start it and not be there. I am here for you, coaching you. So I'm with you in the program. Every day I deliver a module to you. I don't go live with you every day. I only go live with you once a week. But look at the screen here. This is what we call a daily module. You wake up in the morning, or you can do it in the afternoon, and you open up the app and you have your daily training. But you don't get to look at this daily training till the day of. Why? Folks, I'm a coach. You don't get to get ahead of the game. You must do what I say. Practice in the correct order, be accountable to the training because I have to get you to do it right. So I've built accountability. You need accountability because I want you to get this right in 30 days. That was the key to this. When my team came to me and said, put this together in 30 days, my only criteria was you have to keep people accountable to the training, otherwise they won't get it. So 30 days of training, you get your module. Every day you train, every day, 20 to 30 minutes of practice, that's it, right? 20, 30 minutes. And then we support you in the program. I support you. I do live sessions with you throughout the week to support this program. So get this, by the way, guys, I charge $500 an hour to coach people, right? Maybe not be too expensive to some, might be really expensive to others. I don't know what that is, but that's what I charge. People fly me around the world to teach them all the time. I fly across the country teaching people all the time. I'm gonna coach you in this program. You're probably thinking that this program is gonna cost $1 zillion. Let me show you what this program is gonna cost you. the 30-day program, it's about a $700 value, the daily accountability, which is very valuable, and the live coaching support. I'm going to give you this entire 30 days of accountability training in single plane 30 for $297. It'll be the best money you've ever spent in your life. But by the way, it's not on the screen right here. If you don't love what I teach you and it doesn't help you, I'll give you 100% of your money back. I always guarantee this, 100% of your money back. I got a few bonuses though. And by the way, this is the Power Generation Masterclass. Now that you've gone through single plane 30, I can start adding some speed to your swing. There's some secrets to that. I have this in my $500 Power Generation class. I'm going to give you this class, which is a $500 value as well. So not only do you get the single plane 30 program, I'm also going to give you, after the class is over, I'm not letting you do this until it's over, I'm going to give you my Power Generation class. This is where you learn the difference between upper body and lower body, how it produces speed, the lower body movement, which is a power generator, and then how to build more power and increase the speed of your upper body. That's what I teach in that class. It's very relevant to you after you've been through single plane 30. Now, look what I have on the ground here. You see one of the most important things you can do is make sure you're practicing correctly. You have my alignment ball position trainer. This costs about $100 to $110. I don't even know how much it costs. This training club is about $120. And the single plane trainer. These are 3 of the training tools that I want you to use during this program. It's about $300 worth of training aids that I want you to have in the program. But I'm not going to make you pay another $300 for those things. I'm going to give them to you. So I'm going to give you paid $297 for the program. I'm going to give you the Power Generation class. That's about a $500 class. I'm going to give you these training aids. But here's how I'm giving them to you. You pay attention to this. If you're on tonight and for the first time, this is the only time you're going to see this. I'm going to give you a $150 gift card, and then I'm going to basically charge you $170. We got to charge the shipping only. I'm going to charge you $170 for the training aids. So basically, pay $20 for the training aids just to cover the shipping. So here's the thing: I'm giving you the training aids for free, right? By giving you a gift card. But as Scott says, only tonight. This goes away when this show is over. You have to take advantage of this. We put the link up. The link is graysgolf.com/enroll. Generally speaking, I get about 200 people. Well, we max it out at 200 people per month in the class. So I don't have that many training aids, guys. We don't have that much inventory. With the things going on in China, I don't have that much inventory. So we're taking 200 people in the class for the month. So you need to hop in this class if you want to join me. It starts, Scott, next Monday, May 5th, the first Monday of the month, May 5th. May 5th, you get your first module. I will see you the week of May 5th to work with you inside this program. And I'll coach you directly in a Zoom call. We get together, you can ask questions, you can talk to me, we can actually go through this, and I can help coach you through this process. I'm going to give you 100% of your money back if you don't love it. I promise you this is the answer for you. It's been the answer for thousands of people up to this point. That's why I love doing this program so much. So let me go through the offer one more time. Single plane 30, the whole package is $2,000 value. The masterclass, $500. The 50% discount on the training aids, all that package, $297, and I ship you the training aids that you're going to get those as well tonight only. Just telling you right now. We used to offer these, but we don't do it anymore for everybody. It's only tonight. This goes away. If you wanted to sign up the program tomorrow, you're going to have to pay $297, but you're not going to get $300 of training aids. Okay, so that's what's going to go on tonight. Let me take a few questions. I know that I saw some pop in the chat a second ago. Let me grab a drink here. I'm getting kind of.
I have a testimonial for you first. When we're talking about the program.
Oh, Larry. I saw Larry O popping in the chat.
Yeah.
Larry, at 7:41 p.m., he popped in here. He did the 30-day program last fall. 30 strokes better than I was last summer. He says, beyond belief for me. That's the first time I've seen Larry pop in here. Hey, Larry, thank you. That makes my night easier, actually. Thank you so much for popping in there. Here's from Frank. I have back pain. Will this help? Yeah, this is a great question, by the way. The single plane swing is the only way to save your back in golf. And let me explain why. Frank, this is a good question. The conventional golf swing has an inherent problem. It makes sense. You guys will see this. And this is why even the tour players that swing on 2 planes, there's guys that are close to single plane, by the way, on tour. Guys like Bryson DeChambeau, Steve Stricker. There's a lot of guys that really close to what I would call pretty damn good at getting the club playing better. But The guys who have back pain tend to have the largest angles between their bodies. So they have the arms hanging down on one plane and they're close to the ball. Well, the problem with that is remember how I showed you impact? The club's gonna try to lift. Well, that means your body has to lift because we've gotta get to impact. So what happens is the body starts going up. See how my lower body's going up as my upper body is going down? And and here's what happens biophysically. The lower body's pushing up, so pushing up, and the upper body's going down, and you get this thing called compression. One part's going up, one part's going down, so it smashes your lower spine. But the worst part of that is not the compression, it's the fact that I'm turning. So now that I got this part going up and this part going down, I have turn, and that creates compression. Creates shear. So you have compression and then the turning of that, which is called shear, and you get back pain. Your musculature and in your anatomy, you get this stress. Well, we have a really good thing about the single plane swing is that since we have the club on the impact plane, we still rotate, right? We have to produce speed, we still rotate, but here's what we don't have. We don't have the compression. We're not pushing up. Matter of fact, this is called the sacrum. And when you swing, in the single plane swing, the sacrum moves down about 3 inches. My lower back goes down about 3 inches. The entire motion goes down about 3 inches to get to impact, okay? So no compression, guess what? No shear. So it's gone. In the conventional swing, this moves up. This goes up in the conventional swing. So anytime the sacrum goes up, you're gonna be pushing down on it. I know that's a little detail in the biomechanics, but a long answer to your question, Frank, but that's why you save your back. And that we love people that have that question because we're able to help people with their back trouble. Here's another good question about the classes, single plane 30. Put the link, is the link in the description, by the way? Throw that link in the description so guys can click on it. Gravesgolf.com/enroll, tonight only to get those training aids. Are all the classes live, parts of the class? So the classes are recorded classes, modules, we call them modules. They get delivered to you every day. So you open up the app, you'll get notified too, your module's ready. You go train the module. You'll go through the training, it's all in the app. You can chat with the coaches inside the app. We have a whole space for the class. So you're in a classroom basically. And then once a week, I get on with you, usually on a Friday, but sometimes I'm out of town, so sometimes a Thursday. And you're invited to the coaching session with me and I coach you once a week. So I'm not on with you every day, but I do have certain modules in the program where I train with you, right? Where I'm doing it with you, okay? So just keep that in mind. There's a lot of training in there that you're gonna love. Next question. Yeah, good question. If I can't do the training every day, so a lot of guys can't do it every day. You can catch up 1 or 2 days. If you miss a day, you'll be fine. You miss 2 days, you'll be okay. If you miss a week, you're gonna have to take the class again. Luckily, we let you have the class for another 30 days after it's over, so you have access to the class. But guys, be accountable to the class. I wanna show you something. I don't show this very often. How many people are still on for this?
Just around 300.
Guys, watch this for a second. I'm a bit of a scientist nerd. Like I study things all the time. One of the things I really dig into a lot is human learning, human behavior, how we can, it's not necessarily performance, it's how the brain rewires itself for learning new skills. And most people think learning is linear. And because you may have experienced things like eventually you start something and you get better at it. So you're like, well, there must be this linear process. The problem is that learning is not linear. Learning is, if I had to draw an example, this won't be a good drawing by the way. You start here when you're learning, and most people think, well, you know, I'm good here, and it goes like this. It's not the way it works. You make an investment. So you're making an investment, single plane 30, but an investment of time. See, your problem out there is you don't have time. It's not that money, whatever, $300 is probably not that much, but you don't have time. You don't have the next month to waste not getting better, because time is where you're not getting any younger. Why waste a month not getting better? Why not improve every single day? So, and by the way, that's what Mo used to tell me all the time. He says, you gotta improve every day. You gotta keep getting stronger. But when you make an investment, I'm actually gonna do this in red, this is so important. This is your investment. The investment period is the most important period because this is where you build the foundation. So this circle should be massive right here. This is where you have to relearn things you don't know. You have to basically figure it out. It's the investment period. I'll give you a really bad example. Have you ever bought my wife made me do this the other day. She bought 3 bookshelves, right? Exact same. She goes, put those together for me. I open them up and there's 500 parts, right? I'm like, oh God, it's gonna take me 2 hours to do this. Directions, little tiny words, pictures, screwdrivers, right? The first one took me 2 hours. I had made a 2-hour investment in that bookshelf. Figuring it out, putting it together. Where's the screw go? I put it together backwards a little bit. Had to go take it apart, right? 2 hours the other one. Guess what? I go to put the second one together. Took me 30 minutes. I go to put the third one together. I knocked that thing out in 10 minutes, right? 2 hours, 30 minutes, 10 minutes. Where was all my time spent? In the investment of learning how to do it. So this is a massive thing. You got to invest. You got to put the time in. Don't take a day off. Focus. Get that first one built, right? Get the swing built. And then the learning curve just goes like that. It gets easier and easier and easier. But you got to make the investment. Most people don't make the investment. But you know what the number one criteria that Mo said to me? I asked Mo a question. We're having dinner. This is the last time I ate dinner with him before he died. I said, Mo, why did you choose me? Or maybe he didn't choose me. That's probably a bad way to say it. Why was I the guy that he found and spent time with that was in the position to take his swing to the world? And he said, because you wanted it. And he goes, you wanted it. He goes, I never met anybody that wanted it more than me. He goes, you wanted it. Which, here's what he was telling me. You made an investment in me. Like, Todd, you showed up. You found me. You traveled to Canada. You practice with me. You hang out with me on the ranges. You learn about my swing. You ask me questions. I can tell you wanted it. So the guy's question is, do you want it? Now, if you don't, you don't. I've made this program $300 so everybody in the world can learn it. $300, right? So I made this so inexpensive, and I'm going to give you your money back if you don't love it. That's how much I believe in what's going on with this program and what you learn. But guys, get these training aids because they're super helpful. By the way, these training aids you're going to use forever. Even after you make this investment, you're going to still use them. I use this thing every single day when I practice. Gives me ball position, teaches me ball position, stance width. This teaches me everything I need to know when I practice. Gives me my alignment. I don't spend a day without this when I practice. Why? Because my brain is programming all the time. Guys, here's a problem you have, and I'll kind of end it with this. One of the problems you have is that when you go practice tomorrow, you're learning, whether it's good or bad. If you practice the wrong thing tomorrow, you just learn the wrong thing. I've done it before in my life many times. If I would have not read the directions to that first bookshelf, I would have put it together backwards every single time. And guess what? That next bookshelf, no clue, right? Do it right. Practice correctly. Get it right. Invest that time. And I've made it inexpensive to do it because I want you to make that investment. I want you to have the same experience I have and see how amazing and how not complicated this really is. But you're going to have to make that investment. Oh, we got a giveaway. Level 3 membership. Let me explain Level 3 membership to you guys really quickly. We have a coaching program. And by the way, if you don't know what this is, it's once you go through single plane 30, most people go through single plane 30, you can then work with our coaches, right? So now you're working through, you've made the investment, now you want to continue your progress, you work with our coaches. We charge $1,000 a year to be in our Level 3 membership, $1,000 a year. Or you can do it for $100 a month, right? $1,000 a year, $100 a month. But Paul Fredrickson has won a Level 3 membership for the next 12 months. So you just won $1,000, Paul. Congratulations on that. And I hope you join Single Plane 30 because it'll be easier on the coaches if you're in the program. So how can you win Level 3 and not give them Single Plane 30? You got to give them Single Plane 30 too. Okay. You got to do it. All right. Paul, you won a Single Plane 30 class and you won a membership. Congratulations. If you're on here tonight. If you're not, you missed out. Here's the program again, gravesgolf.com/enroll, Single Plane 30. Guys, I'm going to say this one more time. I don't want to beat the horse here, but you're going to get the training aids tonight. If you sign up tonight, click that button and join the program for the month of May, great month to do it, you're going to get these $300 worth of training aids for no cost, but you're going to lose that deal after tonight. And by the way, if you have the training aids, some of you may be watching this, they have the training aids, you're going to get the gift cards. So only tonight though, you're going to get the gift card so you can apply that to other things. We have tons of training aids, other stuff we use when we practice and train and do things. So you're going to get the gift card as well. So you get a benefit as well if you already have the training aids. So that's tonight only. Let me finish with one thing, and it's going to be a little detail here. The way the brain learns, it's called proprioception, and I want you guys to kind of understand this. And a good way to explain that is and that's why these training aids can be so valuable. This training aid teaches me ball position. It teaches me foot position. It teaches me stance width. It teaches me, club position, distance from the ball with this club. So all these things, right now, I'm looking down at this golf ball. I'm in my address and grip position. And I am visually perceiving things. And I'm feeling things. That's called proprioception. My subconscious is picking up information. That information is being sent through my body into my brain, and I'm getting pictures. Mo said, use your imagination. Well, you're using your imagination. You're seeing yourself in this position, right? And the more that I see myself in this position, the more I learn it. So at this very instant, I'm learning. Okay? Now, I go to position 1, the same thing. I'm picking up information. Position 2, information. That's why positions are mandatory here. Transition, position 3, impact 4. So you'll notice by hitting these positions, slow motion, one position at a time, I am learning the proprioception of what my brain and body are connecting to learn and program themselves. That is how it's done. That is the investment. This is the mistake golfers are making, and what you've made. I made it too. I'm not saying you're the only person. We're running out, we're hitting golf balls, we don't know what we're doing, and we're learning the wrong thing. And you're not getting better. That's why the average golfer's never gonna get better. And I watch it every day. That's why I'm here today, to help you break this barrier, make the investment, and give you a very inexpensive program to give you the gift that Mo gave me, which was better golf and loving the game again, because I was about to quit. Good?
One more time on the offer?
Okay, one more time on the offer. Guys, tonight only, you get the Single Plane 30 program. You're gonna join me for the month. It's a $300 program. You get my fast action bonuses, which are the class, the power generation class, the training aids, tonight only, and you get me as your coach, which is the most valuable thing on the list, $297. I will say this, we had 300 and something people earlier this 2 months ago in the program. It was so much fun. The more fun I have, because there's great questions. And by the way, one of the reasons we like everybody, we don't start the program but once a month. And the reason we do that is because when you're going through the program with other people in the program, we're all in the same place. So we're asking the same questions. We're experiencing the same thing. We're getting the same feelings and proprioceptions. So when we discuss it, it's all relevant to the room. I don't know if you've ever been in those classes where one guy's asking a question about something else that's not relevant to the class. You're like, why is this guy even here? We don't do that. We make sure that everybody is on the same page. That's what the beautiful thing about this program is, why I like teaching it so much. So join me in Single Plane 30. I would love to see you in the program. I can't wait to teach you. I'll see you in the month of May in Single Plane 30.